Devious Omega like Tyr against Osiris, by the way, from when I recall the chat. I don't... Does Tyr really work against Osiris? Because if you try and fearless him when he's got his passive, you can't fearless him. I'm pretty sure. Unless it's just me having issues with landing my fearless, which is a normal ability. Hey, it happens to us all. There we are. We found him. We have found the man we'll be watching today. Today is the day of days, ladies and gentlemen, and today we'll be following Janus into this very next game. Now, Janus, set this replay in. His name is... Oh, we're going to call him Yua. We'll call him Yua. It sounds good. It makes sense to me in my head. This is a loss. It's a 40-minute game where he goes 5, 8, and 10. He's currently in Plat 5. How do you think you played? Okay, I've just started playing again after a while, so I'm a bit rusty. Okay, cool. What aspects of the game did you struggle with? My mechanics on Janus. What aspects of the game did you feel comfortable with? Filling this out after a few hours after the game, so I don't really remember. Okay, that's fine. So we'll have a look through this game. The game is a loss, and he does go 5, 8, and 10, which means he goes negative. It's not the worst thing in the world to go negative. People seem to not realise that going negative doesn't necessarily mean you played badly. It just means that you were more of an assist than a finisher. And that can happen sometimes, you know? Especially with gods like Agony as a prime example. He's very, very good at getting people low. And now and again he will miss out on kills because he drops them all low and his teammates come in and finish them off. But we'll see how this one goes out as we get underway.
Get through this.
So, start this game and you've gone for boots. The extra mobility is good. However, you're going to have ridiculous mobility with having your portal available anyway, which you should be maxing 3rd. But having rank 1 in your portal, it should be enough to get you out, as well as you through space and time. You shouldn't really have an issue with mobility at the start, so going straight into boots, probably not the best idea in my opinion. You don't really need 3 health potions as Janus, because I don't think you should be taking that much poke damage from either the wave or the person you're in lane against, because you're positioning as Janus. You can be quite far away and still farm quite safely. The mana potions, I can understand. 2 mana potions is pretty good on him in fairness, just because you can keep spamming out your abilities a little bit more and actually be more aggressive, because that allows you to spam your portals, and it also allows you to spam your unstable vortexes and thresholds to keep putting the aggression on and clearing the way faster and not have to go back to base because you're out of mana so soon. Problem being, I would probably consider going for the artifact, just because it will get the tiny trinket rather, just because it'll give you a little bit of lifesteal and some more magical power, which will help with clearing the wave. Bit of a crazy level 1. Bit of a crazy level 1, but nothing too much to shout home about, unless Apollo gets caught. Which he doesn't. Nice poke. Problem is, you've wasted like 2 skills already before the respawn. You should regen most of that though before it starts. Always be careful about the level 1 exchanges. I mean, level 1 exchanges are great if you're going to get a kill, but if you're not going to get a kill, wasting mana early on can put you at a deficit before the start of the game, which means you're going to run out of mana a little bit sooner.
Minions have spawned.
One thing about putting your point into your 2 there and going aggressive as well, just to be clear, if you did go for that aggression then, if you get rotated on, you've got no escape abilities. I mean, I guess you've got boots, so you should have been okay there. But just be careful if you're going to go and level an ability to deal free damage. He was always going to rotate back to base anyway, that Hercules. It was going to be very hard to kill him. Mid caps go down, and that's all good and rosy.
Get through this.
Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing a lot of people do, and I'm going to just see if you do it again on the next one. On the next wave before I point it out, because we'll look back over it. Oh, that was aggressive. Oh. Oh, that was aggressive, and you got punished for that badly, sir. That aggression. That was too much aggression, in fairness, at the start of the game. I guess you've got a lot of sustain, but it's just cost you 2 potions. She doesn't have any sustain. Now, I was going to talk about something to do with your unstable vortexes, but we'll look over that in a second. If you do it on this wave, then I'll know for sure. Okay. So, you're trying to get maximum damage out from your unstable vortex because you're walking right up to the minion wave and you're trying to hit them with the full combo. Obviously, if you stand right in front of them, the first dunk in to an extent will hit these back ones, and then the last one goes further back, and the front ones get hit because it's coming out of your arms. You don't need to, at the early stages, come as close because you're taking free poke from the new ward every single time you try and do that. What you could look to try and do, if I can find what number you're on now, because I think I've lost you. There we are. What you could look to try and do is just stand off to the side, because the first minion wave, if we go all the way back to that one, I'll try and quickly go back to it so we can see what I was talking about. You actually miss a lot of the wave early on, and the poke that comes out of it is probably unneeded. What you need to do, instead of firing your ult off, your auto off, sorry, your 2 off here, you want to stand off just to the side. If you actually stood about where you are now and just fire it straight here. If you fire it straight here, the right hand arc will hit all these creeps. You won't get the double damage off, which is what you're trying to do from this, but it also guarantees that you hit every single creep. With that one you just did there, you only hit a small portion of these creeps. You didn't hit all of them, so 2 of them are still going to be at full health, which means that the wave's not going to push first of all. Like, wave flow and pushing power is very, very important in this game. And so in doing that, you didn't get maximum damage off of this. You may have got some more damage off in these, but you didn't do enough potential onto everything in the wave. Stand off to the side as Janus at the start and just clear it with just one side. Eventually, when you do get the wave in certain situations, you can use the what you did with the shotgun, where you stood right up close in the second wave and put the pressure on from there. But really consider that at the start of the game. It's only a small thing, but it does make an impact. Because right now, if you would have got these 2 minions as well, with the half damage one, they would be a lot weaker, and you guys, you can see you're actually losing this engagement if these HP bars are correct. Are they correct? Yeah, as you can see, all these 3 minions here are just above half health, whereas he's got a minion advantage right now, technically. Because you've got that extra minion there, it still means that he'll win the trade because of the full health minions. I like the attempt to try and poke there, but it was very, very risky. You don't know what he's going to get, and in the end, you're the one that gets punished for that one, as we said already. Next wave comes out. You do the same thing with a shotgun again, but you take a lot of poke for it. The good thing about that poke that you took, it wasn't too bad to take it, just because you'd already eaten a health potion and mana potion, so you'll regen it back up again. So it's not too bad. But if it happens this wave and you do the same thing, there's potential that you're going to lose the trade one more time. And if she's aware of this, she could actually poke you down a little bit further for it. You now got the push off that wave, which is fine. I'm going to rotate straight over for that. Did you need to use the portal? You didn't really need to use the portal, it just costed you mana for no reason. Now you've not got an escape either.
Your right tower is under attack.
At least you get the red. So, that portal that you used to go to the red buff, there wasn't any real need for it. What could have actually happened with that? Notice this. Use the portal here.
The way is open.
It does give you a little bit of increased damage onto this buff, agreed. But you're also tanking it, which shouldn't be, because that's a jungler's job. If you had your portal here, you've got a couple of options. A, you can use it to escape if this gets too dangerous, which you know it's not going to because Nuwar's in mid and Hebo's still in lane. But the other option is you can portal onto the Bastet coming in. And if you portal onto the Bastet coming in, you get some free poke off onto her. Oops. Notice if you had portal now, if you still have portal, if you had portal in any of these times, that guy's going to take a lot more poke and possibly be forced back to base. Back to firing one more time. Walking up to the wave is so dangerous during the early stages as Janus. You can't be doing that. Overdid it with the portal out. I guess you were really, really worried about the aggression continuing. But now you lose a lot of gold to the tower. Stop walking up to the minion wave as Janus and try to do that shotgun mentality during the early stages. You don't have the clear to actually do it, but you might be able to catch him out of position here. Portal him. Portal him. Portal him. Portal him. Okay. The reason I'm screaming portal him is because you just saw why I screamed portal him. You'll see it now. We're watching this back again, because if you do portal him, he's dead. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. She might be low on mana, actually. Let's just check in. How much mana you got? 70 mana for that, and that's going to cost you 80, so you need 150 mana. You sat on 100. 105. Would you have had it beforehand? 1, 2. The portal buys 1.5 seconds. Would you have had it? Yeah, you probably would have. I think you could have done it still. Because she still went for the buff. Yeah, you would have had it. Okay, so I was checking with your mana pool, because what you should have done, I guess you pressed 2 because you didn't have enough mana for the 1-2 combo. But if you would have done the 1, it would have bought you time for it being in the air to catch up on the mana, because you'd popped a mana potion anyway. As well as the 2 damage that you saw, it did destructive damage on her. She stuck around for the buff anyway, which we can't always take into account. But I still would have gone for the 1-2 combo. to try and force the reset on her anyway, and trying to get her out of the buff range as well. She was still only level 4 as well, so that kind of puts her behind. You are level 5 right now, but you didn't put a point into your ultimate. Very, very risky. Very, very risky. Gonna chase though, or are we gonna find the kill? I don't think we are. Now we're low on mana again. Gotta watch our positioning. I mean, the idea of rushing boots as well is that it does give you more mobility. And giving more mobility means you can rotate faster and put more pressure on the rest of the map. The problem with that, however, is if you go boots and you don't do these rotations, which it doesn't look like you're going to because you put an extra point into your 2, means that you're not going to rotate as much or as often as you want to. And you've already burned all those mana potions already and those health potions that you started off with. So it's not really worked out that effective for you. Across the way, however, New War has now managed to get Soul Trap online, gone back to base and got some more mana potions and health potions. And with those, you spent, how much gold was it? It was 50 gold for each potion, and that's 300 gold you spent on potions. 300 gold you spent on potions, that's 300 gold. She's technically ahead because she's bought potions now by 100 gold in terms of build. She's 100 gold ahead in terms of build right now because she's not invested in that. And you didn't punish her for it or get rotations off with these boots. Take one mid camps down. I like the idea of getting the safe ones. Are you going to fight for the other ones, or are you just going to farm? It looks like he's going to farm and give it up. It looks like Sylvanas going to get caught though. You're going to ult through. No combo though. Autos of Doom. Sylvanas, the god we need. This worked out really well for your team. Ultimate I was okay with, just because you got some good damage off with it, and you also managed to get an escape opportunity for Sylvanas if required. You going through was a bit risque, just because you were low on the mana, and you could have got rotated on and turned on immediately by the team. But it worked out great for your team because Thor comes in as well as Sylvanas did some good damage as well, obviously because Sylvanas' dot damage is insane. Where are we pulling to? We're going to do back harpies. I like this call. I like you doing the back harpies here.
Your middle tower is under attack.
If you do them a little bit quicker though, because you've lost a bit of a wave in mid. You kind of traded because Thor took that experience, so okay, it's not so bad. Back to mid lane once again. Got 2 assists for yourself, not too bad. Sitting around patiently waiting for the minions, which is fine because there's not much else for you to do. Now, he did go back to base and buy two health potions and 1 mana potion. This is okay, but it means you've given up a lot of vision on this map as well. So these trades are very risky because you don't know where Bastet is right now. Like, all this time you're fighting this little trade between her, and you're still staying in range for this trade. Bastet could be coming in on you. And the best news is, by me saying this, she actually is doing that. And if you die here, probably... Oh, that was a good escape with the pole. But you might still die if she continues chasing. Pull for 7 seconds, 5 seconds till threshold, 2 seconds till threshold. You might be able to get out. I'm not sure. Hercules is going to rotate in from mid. Pounce should be up soon. Oh! Access denied! You lucky son of a gun. Lucky son of a gun. Be careful with your aggression. Your aggression was really good. The problem was you didn't have vision of the map, so you didn't know where Bastet was. And Bastet is a fantastic god against Janus, just because she can stop you getting to those portals, which give you the escapes thanks to a slow of her cat and her lash. So, just keep an eye on that. I called it lash, and I don't think it's called lash. What's it called? What's it called? Let's find out quickly. So I don't get it wrong again for the rest of the cast, because she's going to be an issue for you in this game, I expect. Where is she? There she is. D-Claw. Why don't I remember that name? I should remember that name. Anyway, back into game. We're at 900 gold. We've already got Magi's online, which is fantastic. It means your burst is insanely high now. Now, mid camps are spawning. You don't have ultimate, but I'd be looking to contest left-hand camps just because the burst from your team is very, very strong right about now. You have an Apollo who can rotate in for the left-hand camps. You've also got Sylvanas with that dot damage and the heal sustain coming out. You've got Thor with a dunk. You guys are going for the right camps, which is very, very safe, but I'd really consider going for the left-hand harpies here because these ones is a great team fight for you guys to be in. It would be a good decision for you to look for the left ones. I know they're on a little bit of a delayed cooldown, so it's not too bad to go from now, but you want to be contesting these lefts. This should be a big fight for your team. This is an opportunity that you need to be taking. They're not minions. They're not minions. Good for avoiding them, but you took a lot of poke from him. We're trying to look for the option out. Good poke. That's all there was. You could have gone for a full combo there as a team. I guess the team didn't really want it, but Thor could have dunked in. Sylvanas with the ultimate as well. Could have really worked out. You cleared the wave. What we're looking to do now, well, Right now you're just wasting time. You're going to be able to kill these two? Technically you could, but it's a bit risky. You could go do back harpies. You could also go with Thor for a gank right now on either right or left lane. You've pushed this wave in. Where's your minion wave right now? Your minion wave is right back here. There's nothing for you to do. There's nothing for you to contest around this area. You can see Bastet left and Mercury left. You know Hercules is mid. If you rotate to this left-hand side right now through the wall with Thor, it's going to be a 4v2 over here. How quick is it going to take for these guys to get over here? It's going to take them a little while because at the moment, this is Hercules support, so he shouldn't even have boots 3 yet, which he doesn't. And so you've got an opportunity to get in this fight. The only thing that could possibly happen is new war comes in. There's Thor lagged out. Thor lagged out. Protect him! Yeah, boy, he lives. Good job, laggy Thor. Oh, you might die for that, though. Have to use your ultimate out. Will you die to that?
I do. I will.
Lucky boy. You tried to help him out, and that makes sense. Don't worry about it. That wasn't your fault, in all honesty. If Thor was still alive, you could have got rotated left. But we can't take those into account.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your right tower.
So I'm guessing it's Book of Thoth coming out next. We've also got Beads rank 1 online. I like the Beads rank 1 just because you're going to have to deal with the New War stun and the Earthbreaker driving strike combo. Also can help you out against Hebo. The next thing you've got to realise though is their team is very, very damage heavy. Very damage heavy with that Hercules support as well. Hebo as well has insane damage. So you need to be thinking about what your next what your next active is going to be as well, and what you should be looking for. Well, in fairness, you probably should be looking for Sprint 2. Sprint 2 will help you to get out of a lot of sticky situations, especially against Bastet, who should be looking to jump on you the majority of the time from this middle lane and put the pressure on you and keep the pressure on you for as long as possible. So getting Sprint 2 means that the cats don't slow you anymore, and you can escape that slow and get to your pulls and get out of dodge a lot quicker. Don't necessarily have to get Sprint, but it would be valuable to you. Aegis is the other opportunity you could have, because Aegis will avoid the burst damage coming out from Hebo with that crushing wave, which can cause you a lot of issues in the later stage of the game, and the Hercules boulders and, you know, new war ultimates and things like that. So Aegis isn't the worst thing though. I may have looked for Sprint Aegis personally, but it's all about the situation you think you're in and you think you need it for. Beads is great on Janus as well, just for the double tap combo. Are we waiting for what are we doing there? We waiting for the cooldown? Okay. Very patient game, but I'm seeing you buy a lot of potions and not many wards. That's something that you need to correct. Like, now that you're in Platinum, it's definitely something you need to correct on how much you spend on. Oh my god, that's going to hit him. Oh, it didn't hit him. The rotation's good. Threshold. Oh, rip. Threshold. Okay. The reason I was calling Threshold on this engagement, when you rotate over, this is a great ult over, by the way. It's not bad at all. I mean, you've got the opportunity to do it. There's nothing else going on, so this is a good ult over. I like the decision you make. You can already see the portal range. Really close to hitting him as well, which I was really impressed about. I love getting those ones off. The reason I call for Threshold is just to be clear. When an enemy moves over this, it gives them a debuff. Slows them for 40%. And it also means that you're going to be able to get the combo off as well. I mean, if you step on it, it does increase your damage as well, and you'll be walking over that sort of direction as well. But you could have Threshold, walked over, and then immediately done it. Or on this transition over, I do sometimes like to do this. I mean, where was the option to do it? I guess it was around here for the Threshold. You don't have to do it, but it would have helped you out. But I call for the Threshold just to slow him already. You've tried to Threshold at the end there, which is fine. And you ended up walking on it anyway, but you do get out. There's a great rotation. New War comes late to this, so you don't even lose anything from mid either. It was a really, really good play. You might still die to that. The cat. Oh, the man. Thor saves the day. Do we need to base right now? Do we need to base right now? We've got a health potion running. We've got 2 mana potions still available as well. We've got a mid-wave minion wave that's going to be here soon. Are you going to be able to defend against this tower? Probably not. I wouldn't risk staying here. But you could look at transversing into mid lane and just pick up this farm in mid again. Because by the time you've done that, you could pop the other health potion if he's going to run out soon. And continue farming, ready for the mid harpies coming up. But you can base. I mean, I was just giving you the option of you could have stuck around for that minion wave in mid. And put the pressure back on Nuwa to rotate back to her lane again.
A new threshold.
Still working once again on this Book of Thoth, which is fine. We're rotating right because the fight's not breaking up. We're going for mid-harpies. Minion wave first.
Your right tower is under attack.
Minion wave first.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
Oh, slow this down again. Good ultimate coming out from him. He's in a lot of trouble there. I think he's still going to die. Body block if you can. I guess you just need to get out now. That was risky from Sylvanas. That was a nice poke. That was nice. Ult! Yeah, boy. Oh, not enough damage. That's such a shame. I would have ulted that too. Because there was a chance you could have hit both of them. You should be looking to pressure this mid lane now just because it's Hebo alone. You've poked him well. Thor's around the back. Mercury's going. Apollo should be looking for a rotation here as well, so there's potential to try and get more out of this, but there's not much else coming out. Farm the next wave, and then go for red buff. That's what we should be looking to do. Now your damage should be at this point now where this shotgun that you're currently doing with your 2 of standing right up against the minion wave and 2 in it is not required. If you just hit him with 1 arch, just to be clear because it's really hard to explain, but 1 arch of the Janus 2, the Unstable Vortex, will be enough to clear the minion wave in full, and it'll guarantee the hit. It also means you can do it from further away, because you can hit them both from a safe distance, and not have to close yourself into being ganked and being pressured. Just consider that as a positional thing, because it's quite important as you now are in Platinum, that you need to realise that going right up to the minion wave like you are doing, can be risky, because then Bastet can jump in because she knows you're coming up to it every time. It also means that you've done this every single time of walking right up to the minion wave, and if the new one knows what's going on, she can start to punish you because she knows you're going to walk up to the minion wave every time. She can save her cooldowns for when you do it and then walk up full combo you, and you're pretty much dead or forced back to base. Sitting around, waiting patient. Oh, there's a good gank. Really good gank coming in from Thor. Best that was a little bit too late. That was really nice one. Oh! Oh, I like this play. Oh, I like this play a lot. This is a great play. That's a shame. I really like the fact that you got an ultimate off immediately afterwards. You got a kill in mid, and you tried to abuse that situation by getting more for your team. That was a really good attempt and a really good play. It's a shame it didn't work out for you, in all honesty. Could you have done anything differently? Well, you went straight for the kill onto Mercury. You could have just covered the escape exit, but it was Mercury and he used his ult all the way back to base anyway. Your ult for his ult is fine. You relieve the pressure on the lane. You need to be careful about Hebo behind you now, but no wall coverage is a big issue. Good portal. You heard him and left. Be careful because of Hebo. Beast was going to avoid the knock-up, I guess, and that was why you were doing that. But you'd only just used it. Nice! Oh no, you didn't avoid it, I thought you did. That's a shame. You still survived though, which is the main thing.
A new threshold.
Book of Tough Online, now you're getting wards. It's about time you did get some. It's the first time of wards I've seen you actually buy for your team. Your team as a whole haven't been warding very heavily, which is going to be an issue for you as well. If that snipe hits, you're a god. Nope, not going to connect. Which is a bit of a shame. You're going to rotate though, trying to find Murky's already ulted out. So, get these wards down. Try not to do the defensive wards. Like, the defensive wards are kind of a waste. I always talk about mid lane warding, and mid lane warding you don't want to put him that passively, just because, especially because you're against a Bastet as well. Like against a Bastet, she's going to go into these two caverns here, the Harpy area, and so warding where you just did in this area is too defensive. You need to push them up a little bit further, put them over this side of the map, because if they're along this line here, you can see the rotation coming in from Bastet a lot earlier, from here and here. These are your priority places where you should be warding, really. If there's no one else in your team is warding, you need to ward here and here. Unfortunately, if they don't ward here and here, you've got to leave some exposure for the backside, but it's a long rotation for them to make, and you're going to get at least some cover in this mid lane. So priority should just be on farming over and over again, get this Book of Tough stacked, and then waiting for the next possibility of an engagement.
Your right tower is under attack.
Everyone's kind of waiting around for the same thing. That's a good pull. Oh, that's a shame your shotgun missed. If your shotgun hits, she's probably dead. Sure about the shotgun, but you get an assist out of it. I can see why you end up going negative in this game, just because you get in on these fights, you're just not getting the killing blows because things like your shotgun are missing. If you did manage to land that unstable vortex, you was probably dead, and you probably would have got the kill out of that as well, to be fair. This game becomes a loss as well, which is the interesting thing to play out. Like, it does become a loss at some point, so I'm not understanding how it does. They've got a lot of damage which we know about, which is one issue, for sure. I think one issue I can see is that wards have only just started coming out from your team at 15 minutes in. We've not seen that much ward coverage. From yourself as well. We're trying to make big snipe plays, it feels, all the time. Don't think you're going to find them though. This is risky. That is risky. That was hella risky. It was a good attempt, but damn, that could have been trouble. Try and get used to Janus with your, because you said about your mechanics was one thing. Try and get used to using portal into 2 combo, because the portal confirms the damage for yourself a lot easier. You tried to do it there on that one, which was good, but try and make sure you do portal 2 as much as you can, because I see you do 2s and then looking for the portals afterwards, which should really be the other way around. Ow. There's not much to talk about from that. You got hit by a Hebo. Did you see it coming? Maybe you did. You should have actually seen that coming, I'm guessing. Did you get pinged out? Yeah, this fight goes on for a long time. So right now you've got the aggression on, you're in a position, you're focusing on the wave and what's going on there. When you back off, the moment you back off there, you should be keeping an eye on the minimap. You can see they're all coming over right now. You've got vision of this over here because of the ward you've got down here. And you've also got vision of this as well because of the ward around here. So you know they're all coming in and collapsing on you. This is the only thing I'm going to play out, is that you need your map awareness just a little, need to work on your map awareness a little bit. It's not an easy thing, it should have been with a team fight to an extent. But right now, you should know they're coming in. Also, you're focused on the fight in the forefront. You focus on the fight in the forefront, and you should know that Hebo's behind you. Thor would have given vision of this rotation coming in when he was in the sky. You're looking for kills. You do find a nice kill for yourself. You can see Hebo right here, right now. But you were focused on the kills. Ignored him. It did help out though. Oh, surrender vote from their team comes out though. Yo, you were so far ahead in this game technically then. Like you'd got the morale drop completely. Wow, this is a throw. I'm gonna call it a throw now, but it probably wasn't. We'll see. You get gold for you as well, which is good for your team. I know you died for that one, but you did set up a lot. Was there a whole lot you could have really done against Hebo where you could have portaled him, bought some time, hopefully your team would have turned onto him? There wasn't that much more that could have really happened with that. With how the game's gone so far, I'm not that worried about Basta anymore. She's not really focused you enough to warrant you wanting to get sprint. Maybe Aegis would be good against the Hebo. And also to deal with some of the other damage, such as the new Warrel as well. Another good combo. Problem is you've just used everything there in that combo and you're probably going to die for it. I think you're dead. Yeah. That's the only issue with using your through space and time as a damaging ability and not using it for escapes, is that if you do use it, you need to make sure you've got full vision of rotations coming in. Because with that fight there, you use it to confirm the kill. Perfect. Problem was you then had no escape for yourself to get out of that trouble. Especially without having sprint or beads 3. If you had beads 3, you would have had your cooldowns back up again, it would have gone slightly different.
Your right tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your right tower is under attack.
I'm trying to work out where you start to really lose this game, because at the moment you're in pretty good control of 2k. Your laning phase hasn't been too bad at all. I think you're still buying a few potions, too many. Like, you still got 2 health. Oh, that hit him. Oh, that was nice. Stop chasing kills. Stop chasing kills. Stop chasing kills. Stop chasing kills. Prime example of chasing kills. Right here. This was good. The problem was though, you hit him for all that damage and you were like, yeah, I'm going to get the kill now. You see Hercules, you saw Bastet leap over the wall as well. You know the rotation's going to come in from New War as well from mid lane. She's also going to turn up to this fight. You try and pick up this kill but when you use this portal, that's all your escapes on cooldown. You're going to put yourself into a spot where you're not going to have any escapes whatsoever. So it's a potential of you getting killed. And that's exactly what ends up happening to you. The decision there is now just left you in the world of hurt. The beads that you're going to use, it does buy you enough time to get them up. No, you're not even going to get them off in time. I think your bead's too late in the end. You try to bead to get your portal, but you're still going to die. Unfortunately. Unfortunate but overly greedy is the big key there. You'd forced Mercury back. You were in a 2v3 situation for a moment because you only had Hercules and Bastet to deal with. You could have focused on rotating with your team. You did the damage already, like you'd helped get the tier 1 tower. You just went for the kill, and the kill got you killed. Wait for the respawn one more time. I mean, from what I've seen so far of your play, most of the kills could have been most of your deaths could have been prevented to an extent. I just feel like you've been overly aggressive a little bit more than you should have been. Is where you've had an issue. Like you're playing well to an extent. You're clearing the mid lanes out fine. You're rotating really, really well from a mid standpoint. Your rotations are fantastic, and you're even defending the towers too. You can go aggressive on this. He's very low on mana. You should be looking to go aggressive here. If Thor can come from mid, you should be calling for a gank in this situation. Like, there's not a whole lot he can do in there, especially with you having ultimate up in your full combo. I guess you just want to play safe though, so that's fine. I mean, it is Hebo, but he's low on mana, so you could try and abuse that fact. If he stays, you should fight this. You should fight this. Like, he's too low on mana to really do anything against you. He's going up for one combo. Ooh, that pot was a shame. Good attempt. That's the engagement over pretty much now. Now, the problem with this... The problem with what you just did is you used your Unstable Vortex to go for the combo, didn't manage to find it. Now you've not got your Unstable Vortex to clear the minion wave. Now your decision making, what you're doing here, is clearly telling him you're coming to fight. Because you've left the minion wave completely. By leaving this minion wave here, right now, you're telling him that you're going to fight. And what he's going to do is he's going to retreat to a position where he knows he's safe. Why would he be going this way and not to the tower? Why would he be going this way and not to the tower? That's what you need to be taking into account right now. If he was scared of you fighting him, why would he go into the jungle? Why would he not go here? Especially when you've got Thor here. Like, you feel like you've still got the advantage, but where's he going? It should give you an idea that somebody's in the area as well. And you not clearing that minion wave tells you that he's coming for a fight. So he's well aware of this going on. It might work out for you. That was really close. You're going to die for it. You're both going to die for it. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Minion wave made it available to you. So the minion wave gave him an idea of what was going on in that one as well.
Your middle tower is under attack.
They're not terrible mistakes you're making, they're just small, little ones that would advance you a little bit further. Like clearing the minion wave before you go for the rotation doesn't give an idea that Thor's coming over and you're trying to gank him. Well, you probably didn't even know Thor was coming over, but the point stands of like you going in there gave away the idea that you were going to go over for a fight in that situation instead of clearing the minion wave first.
Your right tower is under attack. Yeah. Your team destroyed a left enemy tower.
Get through this.
Watch the rotation from behind. Oh, you missed your pole. Missed the pole, but watch your back. Go further back to here. There we go, we'll watch from here. So wall coverage right now, you don't have much vision of the map at all. You've only really got a defensive, like you guys as a team, you've set this up to be really defensive. Like you've only got your own jungle warded up, which means anything further than this point, you have no clue of anywhere. You've got it all the way across the map. If I can speed up my movement, there we go. You got this all the way across. It's just a line defensively across. Oh, it's that one there, isn't it? Where is it? It's somewhere there. It says it's on the map, but I can't see it. Whatever. Anyway, you got a line defensively across. But this line defensively across is not giving you much vision of the rest of the map. So when you go forwards, you've just got to be very, very careful about position. You are Janus though, the escape magician, so it's not too much of an issue. Now, Hebo gets noticed from behind. You've got a 3-man rotation rotating, and this is a good opportunity to go for a kill.
A new threshold. Fit through this.
You forced him back. The problem is right now, have you got vision of this in mid? I believe you should have seen this coming in. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Like, Hebo's going to look for an escape exit. You do have Aegis online, and you need to be careful that he doesn't choose you as the escape exit. That's the one thing here. I like the idea of going Aegis, as we discussed. You don't really need the sprint, because Bastet's not realistically been that much of an issue. She is still only level 16. She's pretty far behind your jungler, and not been great in the game. But, as soon as you get hit by that knock-up, you should realise you are going to be the target for his escape, it seems, back to your team. Problem being, you're not going to be able to get the Aegis off in time. The pull, getting body blocked by the cats, means that you're going to go down there. It's not easy to really make that decision though. There's not that much different you could have done. Guess preemptive beads, but... I mean, you had Sylvanas behind you as well. Yeah, there's nothing much you could really do in that situation, in fairness. I mean, just watching it back, he walked into it. He was choosing an exit. The only thing he could do is preemptive beads into Aegis. But, nah, that's really unlikely. That's really unlikely. Sometimes you're just going to die, and that's one of those times where you're just going to die.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Did you win the fight, though? That's the question. No, I think it was a 2-for-1, which isn't good for your team either.
A middle enemy tower.
Oops, we are back in the game. I'm sorry, I didn't realise you'd come back online. We'll rewind it a little bit. Hopefully we can find you online. What was the rewind for that so far? Right. Stop. 4. There we go. Okay, we're back online. Looking on Aurora Tahu, by the looks of it, next. I'm guessing you're not going for Chronos Pendant here, just because you've already worked for Book of Toth.
Bears down upon you. Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower. Your left tower is under attack.
Fit through this.
Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
Fit through this. Fit through this.
I'm just watching for a few seconds because there's something interesting I'm noticing from you. I don't think we've seen you threshold yourself very often, and this is quite important because it increases your movement speed. As well as it increases your movement speed, it increases your team's movement speed, and it also increases the damage you do thanks to your passive. So you should really be using this threshold a little bit more when you're rotating around. It doesn't cost that much mana, in all honesty, it's only 18 mana. When you've got a mana pool like this, you should be using this threshold a lot more often to increase the amount of damage you do from your unstable vortex, and to give you more mobility around the map as well. It doesn't feel like I'm seeing you use it that often. You've been using it more as a slow than as a speed up tool for yourself, which you should be looking for it as a speed up and a damage increase as well for yourself. I feel like I'm not seeing you use it at all really, apart from just to try and slow the enemy. So deeper watch from your team coming out, which is good. You stole away the blue buff. We're just waiting around, still trying to farm as much as possible. You did go for Chronos Pendant. This is a good rotation around, good pull. Oh, I'll just rewind this back. I'm going too quick. Sorry. Apologies for that. Problem with this engagement right now, you do have Sylvanas coming in with you, which is good. I guess with Thorul, and he's seen this engagement too. And it's going to be a 4v4 scenario, and you're going to get the backside of this fight. So, we'll see how this breaks out, and see how it goes down. That was a nice snipe. It does take one out of the fight. Who are we looking for? That's the plan here. You get great burst damage, one auto is enough. That was a really big fist from her. Age is going to buy you a few seconds for the team to continue rotating in, hopefully. Stay alive. Threshold yourself. There we go. Threshold yourself, slow them down, turn around. If you want to, you can try and get a combo off. Good damage. Pull. Oh, unlucky with the pull. I guess you were trying to get it onto the floor there. You're going to get a boulder to the face. And now here's Hebo to end your life. The juke boots. Not jukey enough though, I don't think. Good night, sweet prince.
I do believe I oversee my way.
Oh, the choke boots! You really gonna live?
The way is open.
Wow, you're gonna live. Okay. The portal through was pretty good. Honestly, you got a lot of burst damage off to Bastet. Bastet put you in a really bad predicament there, and then you just had to play chase away. The engagement, the ult across was good. You actually kind of win that team fight for your team because nobody ends up dying because of it. You can start the Gold Fury off, but you're just not in a good position. What can you do from your personal standpoint? Start using your threshold more. I don't feel like you use it enough, and you're not getting anything out of it. Speed yourself up with it, as well as get that passive online, because the passive helps you to do more damage than you actually realise. This is the thing about the threshold that you don't seem to see how it's happening with it. It does so much damage. Additional scaling, 60 additional scaling. It does a lot for you. Now it looks like Hebo's trying to focus you 24/7, and that Hebo really needs to die. It looks like he should do now, hopefully. Thresholds, snipes. Unlucky. No Aegis available. Good job sending the heal. You probably want to back away from this. Get one shot going off and get out. Your position's not too bad right now. Like, you're in the right sort of position you should be for the HP you're at. You're just trying to support your team and stay in it. Don't be scared to throw some portals out on the walls and things as well. I just want to point this one out on this little bit here. Like, with Apollo in the position that he's in right now, use the threshold to speed him up, but for Apollo, you see him in a second trying to rotate back here. Don't be scared to throw him out a portal through the wall. A lot of players are starting to realise now, on teams, that the portals are for them too, and they will start to use them. You can get him out of bad situations. He lives, but it's just a small example of where you could actually use these portals to a bigger advantage for yourself. And your team. Kind of hanging around for now, waiting for nothing to really happen. You got a ward in your inventory which you could place down and fire, I guess, at the moment. They've all backed off, they're all pretty low. I guess we're going to see that ward at fire now, good. Read my mind. Back to full health again thanks to the sustain. Stop using the ultimate. I feel like that was an overuse of your ultimate there. You're trying to make MLG plays with this ultimate and land the snipe every time to do insane damage. In one way that's cool and it's fun, but at the same time it's not always going to work out. And then not having that available for the big team fights is going to be a big issue, or for the transitions for your whole team. Just stay in this position. This position's not too bad, honestly. You're trying to stay around the corner, get a good portal down. Portal was a little bit over range, unfortunately. Got burst damage. Threshold speeds you up. You're not standing in your own thresholds very much, and that's a big key. This is the biggest thing I've seen in your thing that you could adjust. It looks just like a slow, deteriorating loss, this one. Because you had the early aggression earlier on. Threshold yourself. Stop using beads and threshold. Stop using your beads and threshold. Look how much mobility you get from a threshold. Movement speed 30%. And it slows them by 40% as well. So if those cats come through and you put a threshold down, they're going to get slowed so you can get away. You don't have to have sprint to do this. You're using this for an engage again, and then you're going to have to back out. Like, you could have saved this for an engagement for your team, for a better opportunity to use it. I guess it wasn't bad to get you back to the fight early if you would have got the pick. A sniper would have forced a disengage to an extent, at least from one of them. One thing you've got available to you is sustain. They do not have the sustain that you have. Gotta land these portals though, you were. That's one of the other issues you can see. You're not landing these portals very often. Too far forward, too far forward, too far forward. It feels like you're just starting to get picked a little bit now, you are. Watch this back. I'll watch it back from a little bit further. Oh, that's a bit too far back, but hey. So your whole team's kind of hanging around. You've not really got any vision of the Gold Fury, of the Fire Giant right now. You've got 2 wards on you though, and you probably want to be giving yourself as much vision as possible.
Get through this.
The mid lane farm's fine. And you can try and get this pick onto Hebo here. That portal connected, I think Hebo was probably dead in all honesty, because the snipe would have been set up for him. Don't forget, actually portaling them and making the portal land also sets Ra up for a snipe. It also sets Thor up for a wall. So there's a lot of opportunity for things like that. Now you're on the front line. You're on the front line with no wall coverage. This is the bit that was very, very strange at how you ended up in this position. I was trying to find out how. I need to go further back and watch it one more time. Because it's straight after this little engagement here. You do this little bit of poke. Now pause for a second. You've got everybody in normal positions as expected. Wall coverage is a bit slack. You went with your team. Now both your teammates rotate left. And Apollo's rotating right. And then you walk back and then go into the fight. Why are we here? Did we ward? Is that what we did? We didn't ward. What are we doing here? Why are we here? Why are we there?
Stick around.
Ra just recalled, we're overextended, we're getting rotated from behind. It was a very strange decision you were to go into that Fire Giant pit. Unless you were warding, there's no reason for you to be that far forward. Apollo was off split pushing, Ra just recalled back to base. You weren't in a great position in all honesty to try and do anything in that situation, so you end up getting picked up as a freebie. And you getting picked up could actually mean that you might lose the fire because of it. I think you do. I guess that's the issue there. Unless some hero play happens. No hero plays today. And I think that's where the game is pretty much going to come to an end. One pick at the later stages is very, very important with positioning.
Bathe in the glow. Rampage. Deicide.
And I think that's pretty much going to be the game. What can you take out of it, Yuo? Realistically, in lane, you're fine in the laning phase. You didn't do any real issues. Try not to take unnecessary poke. If you can get less poke on you in lane because you're going up to that minion wave and unstable vortexing, it means you don't have to buy as much sustain out of it. If you are going to go for the mobility, so for the boots at the start of the game and 3 health potions, 3 mana potions, then you want to be trying to rotate as early as possible and put the pressure on other lanes using your ultimate. That's one of the reasons you're looking for those boots. If you're not going to go for that, get the tiny trinket and maybe consider going for Bancross. You don't have to go for Bancross, but it will give you some extra sustain in the lane environment. You don't even have to build it into Bancross. You could just go with tiny trinket and just see how it go. During the game, use your threshold more. I don't feel like you abuse the threshold as much as it's there for. There's a reason you're maxing it second. It does increase damage when you walk over it. It gives you passive off. It also allows you to move quicker through portals when you actually go through them as well. And that threshold is being undervalued by you right now, and you should be abusing it a little bit more. You need to work on your portals a little bit. Like you said, you're back to the game. You're a bit rusty because you're back, new to the game to an extent. Not new, but you've had a break. And you can see that in the gameplay to an extent because your portals are just a little bit too deep most of the time. You ended up putting them behind most of the targets you're aiming for and not on the target. And if you can get those portals on the target, you're setting your team up for a lot more wombo combos. I love the rotations you did though. Your rotations with your ultimates were fantastic. The only issue with your rotations was it felt like you got a little bit too greedy looking for the kills when you did those rotations. The pressure that you put on the map by doing that was enough to force fights or allowed the rest of your team to clean up. You didn't have to go chasing those kills, and sometimes they resulted in your death. End of the game there, a bit of a misplay, but that's not the be-all and end-all of that game in all honesty. You did okay to an extent. Build is pretty much fine. Just consider the thing I said about boots. I like the fact you went for the Aegis to do it against the Hebo and not for the sprint, because Bastet wasn't really a big enough issue for you, especially when you're Janus and you've got the threshold as well, I guess, to an extent. And that's pretty much it. Good luck in the rest of your games. I'm expecting you probably a lot better than that game showed, and that's one of the reasons I asked for the losses, just to see what areas that you can improve on. But I'm expecting if you've just come back and you're a little bit rusty, you're probably an even better player than that really showed off, because I can already see you've got some map presence, at least with the rotations and realising what a good mid laner should be looking to do. Good luck in your next game.